Hey, what's up everybody? This is Jesse. You're watching JLS Comics, and I figured I would do this video. It's something that I've been thinking about for the past couple days. If you don't know, I do live in South Florida, and we have, and you wouldn't be able to guess it by looking behind me, but we have a major Category 5 hurricane on the way. It is called Hurricane Irma, and it will be here very soon. What's up, Biggies? So I've been thinking a lot about the prep for the hurricane, what to do, obviously getting my supplies like my water, batteries, things like that in order, in preparation for it. But I also need to consider my comic book collection. So what can I do to protect it in advance, precautions to take. So I figured I would just give you a couple of things that I was doing or have been doing to protect my collection, from wind, water, rain damage. And if you have any ideas as well, for nor'easters, winter storms, things like that, yeah, exactly. Biggie says slab all of them. If you have any ideas for things, put it in the comments below, because ultimately I'm doing this to give other people ideas and have those steps in place, so if you have anything to add to what I'm about to say, then please put that down below, because hopefully you'll be helping other people. Don said, stay safe. You too as well. I know that you're in the path, being up in the Tampa area or Orlando area. Stay safe as well. Biggie's just said it, plastic totes. So a lot of, our comic book collection is in cardboard boxes, and we stack them up. A lot of them are low on the floor. So replacing them, if you can, with plastic totes will go a long way towards helping that, because obviously cardboard, comic books are paper, they'll get ruined. The other thing to do is to get them up off the floor. I know some of my boxes were up or down on the floor for a while, so I brought them up, try to get them at least, like I'd say, a foot off the ground. Try to keep them away from windows, try to keep them away from doors or areas where water could bleed through. If the windows break or water leaks under the door, you don't want that getting to the boxes, right? If you have things separate, put them in bags. If you can get out and get some other totes or plastic things, then definitely do that. If your books do happen to get ruined, take those, separate them from your collection, because the water damage will make, the paper, it'll make it brittle over time, rust the staples, do all this kind of stuff to the books, and that actually spreads. So if you do get some damage to some books, separate them from the rest of your collection, you know what I mean? Because to the books that didn't get damaged. The other thing you can do, I highly recommend this, if you can easily replace your collection, it's fine. But once your collection gets over a certain monetary value, and that would be something that you would have to determine. What would be something not easily replaceable for you? You'd want to get your books insured. Insurance is really, when you have a high collection, you definitely want to make sure that your insurance is in place. And one of the things to do is actually taking pictures for your insurance, right? You want to take pictures. Hopefully this won't cut off. It says I have a bad connection. Okay. Yeah, so taking pictures, making sure you have all those in place, especially for your valuable ones. And one thing that I did, I am going to be, for this storm, staying in my building. It's a very secure building. It's concrete, up on the top floor. So I think I'll be okay, especially with the flooding. That's a big concern with these things. But I do have a bug out bag ready to go. Some slabs in the bag. You want to make sure that you have like your high, like if you have an AF-15 or you have like giant size X-Men or Hulk 181s, have those books, like the gems of your collection, ready to go in a bag. But don't sacrifice those books, I guess, for your survival essentials or for things that you would need for your family. Because at the end of the day, Can't believe I'm saying this, but the books can be replaced. You cannot, your family cannot. That should ultimately be your number one priority. Books should be a little bit lower down on the list. Hate to say that as a collector, but you know it's true. So that's kind of it. That's sort of it in a nutshell. So to kind of recap, keep the books in their boxes, preferably in plastic totes. Even it just for temporary, because I know that we like the stackability of the short boxes and boxes. But for the storm, if you can, switch them into those. Get them up off the floor. Get them away from windows. Get them away from doors or areas where water could intrude in. And the other thing as well to consider with water is what's above you, right? Is there a bathroom if you're in a house? Is there a bathroom above you? Or is there another apartment, you know, with a bathroom above you? Because that could, if there's pipes, you know, they could burst and leak and the water could go down if they're in a closet or something, or even in a wall if a pipe bursts. So that's something to consider. The other thing I said was to take photos for your insurance to make sure you have that in place. Make sure you have that in place, and then separate, two separation things. Separate your gems, your prized possessions from the rest of the collection, so you can take that with you if you can. And then also, if part of your collection does happen to get damaged, make sure you separate that quickly from the rest of your books, because the water and the moisture, if there's mold, that can all spread very easily to the other parts of the collection, where you'll get damage to the paper, damage to the staples with the oxidation from it, and it's just not good for your books at all. Is what I wanted to say. Pretty quick, nice and easy tips. But if you do have other tips or things to add, please put them down in the comments below. This would be for the benefit of other people. And it's not just this video here exclusive to hurricanes. So if there's, you know, storms in your area, you know, things that you do, you know, put that down in the comments below. One thing I would also do, so being in Florida, we have a very high water table. We're very close to sea level. So because of that, we don't have, Jesus, it's hot out here. You can never tell there's a hurricane on the way. Let me tell you, it's beautiful right now. It's the calm before the storm, you know. But we don't have basements because the water table is so high. So that's something else to consider. If you're in an area with a basement and that's where you store your books and there's a storm on the way, I would say get them up out of the basement. Definitely do that. If you leave your books in the basement, those precautionary steps will hopefully help. You know, bagging them up, putting them out into the plastic outside of the cardboard boxes should help. But that's something here that I've been thinking about over the past few days, just sort of getting ready for the storm, which should be here. Today's Thursday. They just told me that my office is closed tomorrow, so that's good. But we should start getting the tropical force storm winds Saturday morning. So that's something that I'm expecting very shortly. They just put in the hurricane warnings for my area, which means the impending hurricane force winds within the next 48 hours. So that is on the way. But that's it. This is Jesse, JLS Comics, and this has been some hurricane and storm protection tips. See you guys soon.